Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dana, aka Blondie Knots here on YouTube, and today, which you've already been able to tell by the title of this video, we're gonna be making some flower claw clips, which is very exciting. This was a pretty highly requested video on my channel and on my Instagram lately, so I'm more than happy to bring the tutorial for you guys. I even have one in now. I live in this claw clip now. I absolutely love them. They're so fun. They're very beginner friendly, very easy to work up, and they're just so stinking cute. Like, you need one of these. This is also something I've been market prepping, taking to my shows, and have been selling well at my shows. So that is another great option if you are a craft show vendor, to add these to your inventory. With all that being said, let's jump right into what you're going to need for today's tutorial. You'll need 2 to 8 colors of yarn, depending on how you want to create your claw clip. I'm gonna be remaking this one, so I'm gonna use 3 different colors of yarn, plus the color for my centers. And then we also need a color yarn for the top clip part. I recommend using a fuzzy yarn, maybe a mohair or something. It just gives it a little bit of extra fun and interest. But the cool thing about these clips are they're completely customizable. So if you want to do all your flowers one color and then just do your centers a different color, you only need 2 colors. If you want to make every single flower on here a different color and do like a rainbow theme or something, you can do that. I've done some neutral ones. I've also thought about doing some monochromatic ones where I do like different shades of pink or different shades of blue or something fun like that. So definitely get creative with that, and whichever you think up is going to be fantastic. You're gonna need a 5mm hook or any size hook to match your yarn you're using. I like a 5mm simply because it makes my flowers nice and puffy and it covers the clip completely, so I do recommend that. You're going to need a darning needle, scissors. Of course, you'll need a actual claw clip. That would be very helpful. Any color will work for this. I do recommend ones that have these loop-de-loops on top. I can link where I got mine for you guys in case you're interested. They're very affordable off Temu, of course. I have very fine strands of hair, but I have a whole lot of hair, and these stay in my hair all day. I don't have any issues with them. I've been wearing them around a lot to see how they were going to work out, and I've not had a problem. So I definitely think these clips are a great recommendation, but you can experiment with another type of clip if you so choose. And you're gonna need some super glue and some hot glue. I was originally making these with just hot glue, and after wearing one for a couple days and stuff, I did notice it was kind of peeling off, and so that's why I kind of waited on the tutorial just to see how it was gonna wear and what I needed to change before giving it to you guys. I want you guys to have the best version of the pattern, so I am adding a little bit of super glue to help everything stay in place perfectly. If you know how to make puff flowers already, then go ahead and make 6 in whichever color combinations you would like, and meet me back at this time in the video and we will keep assembling the clip together. Otherwise, if you've made a flower but maybe you're not sure, you don't remember how you did it, I'm gonna go over a very speedy, quick tutorial in just 1 second on how to make one. And if you're a complete beginner, no fear. I'll link a video here of my flower earrings I made. They are the same puff flowers, so you can go over there. I'll teach you how to make the magic ring and all that if you're a complete beginner, or if you've just never made one before. That is a great place to access the flower pattern in great detail if need be. Other than that, I think I've talked enough for everyone, and let's just jump straight into the tutorial. Okay guys, so we are going to speed around this tutorial, make your magic circle, and then go ahead and create 5 single crochets into the magic circle. 3, 4, 5. Close the circle up, slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet, chain up 2. And now we will start our puffs. So yarn over, insert into the first stitch, pull up a loop, and you're going to complete like you're doing a double crochet, only it's going to be an incomplete double crochet. And you'll repeat this until you have 6 loops on your hook. Six, yarn over, pull through all, chain 2, and into that same stitch we just worked the puff, slip stitch. That's what makes it so puffy. Chain 2, and just repeat that process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on the hook. Pull through all of them. Chain up 1, 2 into the same stitch, slip stitch, and chain 2. We're going to do that so we have 5 puffs total. Last one. For my last one, I'm just going to slip stitch right into there where we started. Chain 1 and fasten off. Pull through. Okay, we have our little flower. Now we just need to make the center and stick it through. So with whatever color you want to make your center, go ahead and grab that. Make a slip knot, chain up 4. Yarn over into that first chain, complete half a double crochet, yarn over, back into that first chain again. We're going to do this until we have 5 loops on our hook instead of 6. All right, yarn over, pull through all of them, chain 1 and cut off. With your darning needle, thread your flower center through on one side like that. Take your flower, find just any old spot on the flower will do between the puff and the single crochet, and just poke it through, pull it towards the other side and release, and then grab the other end. Thread that side through and go directly across and push it through that side. So now your flower center is connected. Turn it over. You're gonna tie off these ends, weave in the ends if you'd like. I'm just keeping mine kind of like this because we are going to glue this up against the clip, and so it really doesn't matter if it's perfect. Just make sure it's neat enough. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time weaving in all your ends. So just keep that in mind. Now repeat the process of making this flower 5 more times. So we have 6 flowers in total. We'll need 3 for each side. So go ahead and finish up all your flowers, and then when you're through with that, we'll start wrapping the fuzzy portion of the clip. So now that you've finished your flowers and we're ready to wrap our clip, I wanted to show you something really fast before we start wrapping. But see this little gap we have here where the yarn doesn't cover the clip? If that doesn't bother you, you don't have to worry too much, but for me, that is something that really bothers me. Like, I'm gonna go back and rewrap this part a little bit. This part doesn't annoy me too much. There's not much you can do about the sides as much as the actual arch part. To avoid that from happening, when I'm working with my fuzzy yarn, because my yarn is so thin, I like to thread it onto my darning needle, and then I will wrap it around my clip double-stranded like this. And to give you an example of what I'm talking about, I'll start by taking my darning needle and going through the back of the clip like this, and I'll bring it all the way through. And I'm just going to make a knot here. All this messiness is going to get covered by our flowers, so don't worry too much about it being incredibly neat. But I like to tie that off as my starting point. And then I'm just going to go and I'll wrap it, you know, a couple times. Through the bottom here. And we're just working in this first part of the clip, so we're leaving the actual clip part untouched, and we're just working around this first arch loop here. So I'm gonna work this a whole bunch of times, and then I'll start weaving it through here. Looping it around. And I'm gonna continue looping it all the way around. When I get to this little join part, I'll show you what I do there. But just continue wrapping the clip so you are covering the plastic piece with the fuzzy yarn. So I have it wrapped to this first join here, and all I'm gonna do is go ahead and start moving my needle through the top of the arch. And then working through the top of the arch there. Sometimes I'll come back down one more time through this looped part. If I just want a little bit of extra coverage in here, and then going back up through again. And you're just gonna repeat all the way around. Keep looping it around this part, do the same thing over with this join, and then loop it all the way down to here, and then we will tie this tail end and the tail end of our working yarn together, and that'll complete our one side. So I'll show you when I get done and get back over here how we'll attach these two, and then we're gonna repeat the exact same process on this side. Also, make sure you don't go over the spring, okay? So you're just staying on this arch only. You're leaving the spring completely untouched like that. So keep going, and I will meet you back here to rejoin it all together. I did just want to quickly mention that when I'm not filming this for a YouTube video, the way I like to do this is turning my clip upside down and then working just through this way like this. I just find it's a lot easier to do this way than having to bother working around all these teeth and having it potentially get caught up in the teeth. So yeah, like I said, I just wanted to make a quick mention of that because this seems for me to make it easier and quicker. Honestly, this is the worst part about making the hair clip because I think this process is really tedious, And because I like mine to be so fluffy and so wrapped, it can take me some time. So I just wanted to mention that if you want to work with it upside down, it might be easier with avoiding all the teeth on the clip. So now that I'm happy with the fluffage of my arch, all I'm gonna do is take this is my working end still, and then the end I tied off with, and I'm just gonna tie this in a little knot. It's double knotted just for safekeeping, and cut this off. Scissors are a little dull there, huh? And that's it. We're going to be gluing this little piece down here, so don't worry about it too much, but go ahead and repeat the exact same process on this side of the clip. We will be back up after this side and we'll start gluing the flowers on, and then we're all done. Next, we're gonna attach our flowers. So you need to figure out how you want them to be attached to your clip. I think I'm gonna do this pattern. Since I did it with the blue in the center last time, I'm gonna move it to the side just to be really exciting and interesting. So that is my game plan for this clip. The most important part when attaching the flowers to the clip is, first of all, I like to work holding my clip open and working the flowers on here then. This is why I recommended quick drying super glue, because if you, and I did this, work them closed and it drips, this piece right here, these center clips especially, these ones don't come nearly as close, but these center ones can get stuck together and then your clip is ruined, and you obviously don't want that to happen, and I don't want that to happen to you either. So you can use maybe something to hold it open if you don't have a quick drying super glue. Maybe if you have like a piece of styrofoam you can stick the clip into while it's drying. That wouldn't be a bad idea. And then I would just recommend, you know, E6000 glue or something if you have that, or even if you just have Gorilla Glue that's not quick drying. If you want to get it to set immediately though, you can use hot glue first and then go ahead and super glue around it. That's another great option. So you just have to kind of do what works for you. It might take you 1 or 2 to figure out what you like to do the best. But I think for me, this particular time, I have this super glue, which is like one of my tried and true super glues, my favorites. And I'm just gonna use this because it's a quick dry, works really well for me. And the only deterrent I have to the E6000 glue is when I don't have a piece of, well, I probably have a piece of styrofoam I could prop the clip on while it dries, but it's so smelly to me. And so that's kind of my deterrent there. But if you only have hot glue and you do that first, then you can go and super glue some other parts in. So I'll show you, this part is very, very simple. So first thing I wanna do is glue down my fuzzy ends, especially since I used a fuzzy yarn. I don't want them to be shedding all over the place. So I'm just gonna add a couple drops of glue and just kind of mat the ends over it. Like I said, I don't want them be shedding all over someone's hair or something like that. So mat those down. Just takes a very little bit of glue for that part. Don't need to be going overboard. And then I like to start with my center flower and work out so I can make sure everything's very balanced and even. So what I'll do is I'll just turn my flower over. I'm just gonna add super glue to the middle here in the knot part where I knotted it all, because it gives me kind of some leverage. And I'm just gonna stick it right onto the clip, add some pressure. Before it dries, I'm just gonna open it up. Again, just like I said, to make sure it doesn't end up sticking to the other side and make me so sad. Just like that. It's already stuck on there. We're good on the bottom here. I'm not seeing any, you can see there, I'm not seeing any glue residue or anything. And then you can see the inside ends up looking really nice too, because we tied it on the front side where no one can see our messy work that we covered anyhow. But yeah, it looks really nice inside too. So that's our first little flower stuck on. He's already looking so cute. So I would not recommend doing one long line of glue and then hurry up and placing the flowers on. One, I feel like it gets very stressful trying to get them all on before your glue dries. And like I said, working the center out seems to make them more even. Also, once you kind of place your first one on, you can see where you want the petals of the flower to face, so you can kind of sandwich them so they lock in very like puzzle piece like, which is very satisfying. Instead of, you know, putting them next to them so the petals are touching like this, I would turn it slightly and then interlock it in so they're snug in there. And even you can put, I haven't done this before, but you could pop a little bit of glue, even just hot glue on the sides here, and sandwich them together if that would help you out a little bit, especially when you're doing your first couple. Now that I've done quite a few of them, it's pretty easy for me to just pop them on and keep going, but that's just something I would do if I was doing this for the first time all over again. So let's continue popping these on. If you didn't want to place the glue onto the flower and you wanted to place it on the plastic, that would work fine too. It's really personal preference. I'll do the next one on the plastic and stick the flower on so you can see the difference, but it's really going to be about the same. I think it just kind of depends on what you want to do. Just be careful if you're using a liquid super glue. Sometimes maybe putting the glue right onto the plastic, you might have a little bit more of a dripping issue. I'm actually not having one. I just had to double check that before I eat my words. But you could potentially end up, if you put a little bit too much, dripping onto your actual teeth of your clip, and that's not gonna look the best. So yeah, this one, guys, I love this super glue. I use this when I do like little miniatures every now and then and stuff. It sticks so well and just right away. But like I said, any super glue will do. And so let's do the last one now. See how that fits like a little puzzle piece? So cute. You can also press it against the table if that's easier for you, with the flowers facing down, so you can put a little bit more pressure on it. Again, I have the clip open so that it's not sticking, just in case. But this is another great way you can do it. And we have our first side all completed. The flowers are all secure and on, looking super cute. I will do the other side off camera really fast, and then I'll show you guys what I like to do afterwards. All right, so here's a great example of what I wanted to show you. So when I opened up the clip, I can look under here. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera. Can you see where it's gapping just the slightest bit? Like it's definitely on there, but there's this little bit here where it's just not touching the clip, and that, one, makes me nervous, two, drives me nuts. So now what I'm gonna do, because I use the liquid super glue, it doesn't have, you know, the thickness of the hot glue, I am gonna take my hot glue gun and just squirt a little dab of hot glue into that area so that it does connect the flower and the clip together. And that is just going to help make me feel a lot better. If you get close, you can see here. Just push it a little bit. And doesn't that feel so much better? Honestly, that helps my mind so much to do that. It puts it at ease for me. So that'll dry down in see, this one I don't have to, you can see the teeth don't touch, so I can close it and just hold it there for a second. And I'll just hold it there for a minute or two just till it's on, and then I will go through and feel the rest of the flowers, make sure they're all sturdy. I'll probably add hot glue into any little crevices I see, either at the bottom row where the teeth are here or up top here. I'll try to lift them. See, this one's like totally stuck down. This guy is too. I think that was the only one that was funky on this particular clip. Yeah, that was the only one this time, which is good. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason as to why that will happen sometimes, but again, sometimes you just gotta add that little bit of hot glue just to join the two pieces together, and it'll probably just make you feel better because you don't want these to come undone, especially if you're selling them. I just wanna open it one more time for you guys so you can get an idea of what the inside's gonna look like after. Just making it look as neat as possible. Here's this side. I think that looks pretty good if you ask me. And they're definitely on there. Like I said, I checked them all. Everybody feels sturdy. And you have your little claw clips. So I hope you guys enjoyed making your flower claw clips and they came out cute. My biggest disclaimer is please put this aside and let it dry before you put it in your hair. I know it's tempting, but I don't want this to get glued into your hair. So please, please, please give it ample drying time before you put it into your hair. As tempting as it is, it was for me too, but I had to set it down and walk away because that is a situation you don't want to put yourself in. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like the video. It really helps me out. If you guys want to keep seeing more tutorials, comment and let me know maybe if there's a tutorial of mine you're wanting to see. I know the 8-ball trinket dish was another one people have been asking for on here and on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, please. Share this with your friends so we can all have some cute flower claw clips this summer. And I will be seeing you guys on Monday for my studio vlog. Thank you for stopping by today and letting me take up a little bit of your time here on the internet. Bye!